Hey YouTube, this is Jay's on my feet. Making a video today. Not really on a how-to, um, but just more a trick that I found that I hope can help some people out. Basically today I'm working on a 4th gen 2003 Toyota 4runner. It's actually a buddy of mine, and I actually just purchased one with full V8 one with 420,000 miles. Bought it from a customer, and I gotta tell you, it's pretty amazing. Not saying I know people love their Toyotas. I gotta tell you, they are great cars, but I still think they break just like any other car. But starting to become more of a believer, man. After driving this 4Runner, it's got 420,000 miles. The thing just it rides. It's amazing how well it rides. The guy did obviously a lot of highway. Pretty much just used that as his office, driving from multiple states. Anyway, let me get back to this video. I apologize, rambling, man. Um, Basically, I'm doing an axle seal on a rear of this 2003 4Runner, and had some trouble finding out how I could remove the rear emergency brake. So I saw some guys doing some things with the let's point over there. It was showing the problem I was having was getting to the spring. When you have this big of a flange on your axle, now your emergency brake shoe, you have to have your springs, and where are they at? You can't even see them. They are tucked in there, all the way behind there. Now they do cut a little slit. You can see here that maybe you could get to if you spin this, but you're still only seeing a little bit of it. Look. I mean I think so. I guess you can get on the little tip to take it off, but you still have to put it back together. Now that the shoes are slotted. They slot, but it's still, you still have to get that spring off. I was really wondering how to do it. And basically, I don't know if you can see, what I went with was, well, I'm not changing the bearing. I just want to change this. I don't think the bearing's bad. Hopefully it's not. Could possibly be, but basically it's leaking fluid. That's what I'm here for today. And I took the mounts where the cable, the emergency brake cable, and I was able to sneak it. Now it's tight because it gets tight up there, but you get enough, you take enough of these mounts off. There's 1, 2, 3 of them. You can slide the axle out. Another tip was about this rear caliper. This part mounts to the back of the backing plate, and to get it off, you actually have to break the hose loose from the line, from the brake line. And that's for some it might not be a big deal, but then you have to re-bleed it. And this thing's a little rusty. I don't know about the bleeder. Sometimes they're tough. You snap it off, now you're looking at a caliber, maybe a hose, maybe a line. So what a lot of guys on the forums are doing, we're actually cutting the bracket. You can see I went a little aggressive there, but no big deal. It goes right back in. You can put the clip back in, and just hit it with like a little grinder. Put a little notch in it, and yeah, it saved me from having to break the line loose, and lose fluid everywhere and such. And I don't see where it's going to affect anything. Actually, I've seen on other cars where they are slotted like that. And so I think you'd be all right. But biggest thing I was making this video for was to show you, take the line, just loosen up the cable and keep the emergency brake all together. Now some people are going to say, oh, these are no good because the oil's saturated. Well, the emergency brake still worked. Thing's got a lot of miles on it, 250. Doesn't know how long he's going to keep it. They still work. I'm going to sand them down a little bit. It's getting new rotors and pads anyway. I'm gonna try to sand them down, scuff them up a little bit, and I think they'll be all right. It's not a rear drum system where it's actually stopping the car. It's just holding the car. So, if you want to go all that route of changing those shoes, you can You can if you like, but that's going to be a gig. As I said, with those springs, I've seen people on the forums complaining about how hard it was to do. So, yeah, that's my trick. Hopefully it helps somebody out there. There's about 14 billion of these things out there, so I'm sure somebody will run into it. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Keep on trucking.